Where does this individual, no, where does anyone draw the line when it comes to, morals, self-respect, or even the respect of all the lives that have been lost to fucking cancer? Another day, another scumbag doing whatever they can to make a dollar. Pardon my French, but really I'm just bewildered by this entire situation. This girl named Maddie is a TikToker and she's 19. And push came to shove and she ended up faking having cancer in order to make some quick money. How could someone so young be so damn devious? Your guess is as good as mine. But really, I'm actually completely disgusted. I don't know why she would do this. I don't know why people have to be so lazy and so fucking deranged to a point that they feel the need to fake having illness. Literally, there are people with actual illnesses that could have got this money that she was being donated. This child has no fucking shame. Where's the respect for the people who actually have cancer and have lost their lives to such a bullshit circumstance? It's crazy, man. It's absolute insanity to think that someone would really go this far with a lie. And when you go so far with something that isn't even real, it's only a matter of time that you would end up coming up short. This is one thing that always happens to liars. They themselves can't even keep up with their own lies. Honestly, this 19-year-old girl really folded like a fucking lawn chair because her greed caused her to put her hand way too far down the cookie jar when trying to make a push to get more pity points and charity from people online. She made a huge mistake when uploading a photo of herself getting chemo. You want to know why and how? It's because her medical port did not have medical tape on it, nor was it sterile, leaving doctors to be able to call this girl out on her bullshit. I'm just baffled, not only by how far that she would take this, but how someone at such a young age could be so devious. She would continuously say that she had a tumor the size of a football that wrapped around her spine. Of course, she wouldn't show this. And you wouldn't expect her to out of a sense of respect to her circumstance. But nowadays, I guess even on the internet in regards to cancer, we gotta show even less leniency, as crazy as that sounds. Because people are actually going to go as far as to being scumbags and taking advantage of such a sensitive topic in of itself. How the fuck does a 19-year-old have the audacity to do such a thing? Maybe it's because money is the root of all evil. Maybe that's what really compelled this person, because after all, that's all that they were getting from this. Can you blame the money? Can you blame her? Can you blame any kind of upbringing she probably had? It's really hard to tell. But the way I see it, I doubt any parent would even want their child to do this regardless of what kind of income they were getting, even if they were probably getting the money themselves. At least I hope no one would be that heartless. But seeing as someone would even do this, it's really hard to say anymore. Man, I just can't get over this. We actually have people lying about having cancer. This is fucking crazy. Like, this is one of the worst things to ever come into existence. Ever. It's way too sensitive of a topic to try and pretend is happening when it's really not. Where does this individual, no, where does anyone draw the line when it comes to, morals, self-respect, or even the respect of all the lives that have been lost to cancer? The lack of respect here is at an insane level. Literally, she has no respect for anyone who has passed away to cancer. She had no respect to anyone who had the actual kindness and decency to donate to her. It's insane. And when people are actually making a difference, trying to make a difference to help someone, they just might even think twice before doing it ever again, because the uncertainty of whether or not their money is actually going to be contributing to helping better someone, to helping someone with their terrible circumstance, that kindness might not ever be shown again just because of someone else's greed and selfishness. How do you really move forward from this as a donator and as someone who's going to steal money from others with their own corrupt lies? Really? She just has to pay all that damn money back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. She's got to return every single piece of it, and she's even been arrested for theft. I don't really see them approaching this any other way except for refunding everyone inside of that GoFundMe. And of course, this always does, once again, highlight the dangers of the internet, because really, it's insane to believe that most people were naive enough to believe in this girl in the first place. You know, she keeps mentioning having a tumor the size of a football, yet never shows it. Although, if she really did have cancer, which she didn't, it would have been really disrespectful to ask that from her. But all in all, people need to be a lot more on their toes when it comes to the internet because, you know, a scumbag like this always exists, and many, many more. People are a lot more prone to doing shit on the internet because they can be a lot more cowardly behind their computer screens, and they can spin any narrative and filter what they want you to see. It's just crazy because this girl was acting like a whole inspiration towards cancer survivors, and people were able to believe in this and actually take from her content that she was a great person, which in reality definitely was not the case. But I don't really think you need me to tell you that, because after all, this is all elementary. These are things that we should all relatively know already because it's common sense. And even then, I understand it's not easy to use the internet, and most people that were probably donating to her were people that were probably older, of course, because they would be a lot more established and be able to have that opportunity to give away money in the first place. You have some people who really know how the internet works, and then you have people who actually just know how to use a search engine a little bit, and then you have the other people who are foolish enough to click any type of ads on their computers that will, of course, give them a virus. With that being said, you can assume what kind of people were definitely trying to donate to her. They were good people for, doing such a thing, but then again, they were very naive. So when putting myself in their shoes, I can understand why they weren't skeptical, because who really wants to believe that anyone is pretending to have a life-threatening disease? These days, you just can't put anything past anyone, especially since we have so many different stereotypical ideas of how to condone the degenerates on the internet. And when it comes to a situation like this is where I believe the disconnect between reality and what's on social media truly comes into play. After seeing a news reporter talk to someone who donated, it is clear that they were definitely an older person, as I mentioned before, because, they would have their lives more or less together. You think this person hit a new low because they were faking having cancer, but it only gets worse because they're not only just taking advantage of people and stealing from them, but they're also just fucking manipulating the elderly. You really can't make this up. Like, this 19-year-old did one bad thing and really may not even realize how much more damage they actually did. And hey, maybe they actually did realize it, but they just didn't care to begin with. But really, I feel like her age definitely helped her get away with this. Because, most people are going to look at a young individual and not think that they're going to do such a thing. Because, of course, when you're younger, you're a little less experienced. And really, it's hard to imagine a 19-year-old doing this. At least it was until this situation happened. If you're 30, 25, 46, 19, more often than not, you can still be a scumbag.